This morning, as I came out in the farm, as I do most every day, something a little bit different today is that last night we had an inch and a half of rain. Now, I know those of you who live in the southeast or northeast, you get rain quite frequently, and that's not a big deal. And I get it. I understand. You get a lot of good, nourishing rain, and that's fantastic. Here in Central Texas, we do get times we get decent rain. It's not like far West Texas where it's a little more arid and they can go through some drought situations. Here in Central Texas, you can go weeks sometimes without any decent rain, and it can have a stress on a garden. But last night we got an inch and a half of rain, and I'm always a little amazed each time, and I've seen it many, many times, but I'm always amazed at how well and how good the garden looks after you receive that rain. It's always something that's just great to see. When I look over and see our pole beans, our squash, we have some black-eyed peas right there, and of course our okra that is over here in the corner. And the rain makes such a difference. It's such a blessing. And I come to you this morning, I don't want to use the word unscripted, but I really don't have I had no agenda this morning when I started making this video. A lot of times when I come to you with a video, I've thought about something that I really want to show you. And this was just kind of off the cuff because as I look at these rows, for example, I look at this okra where that compost is, and you can see that it's just filled with moisture, and what a difference it makes with this okra. You can just literally see it start to pop and grow just from getting that rain. Of course, we use a drip system out here, so when we go through times when we've gone through weeks without rain, of course, we're using our drip system, and the garden can continue to do well and thrive, but there's nothing like getting rain, and you can't plan it. There's not a time when you can schedule to have rain. It just rains when nature wants it to rain. And it's a cool thing when it happens, and like I said, no matter how many times I've seen it, it's always a blessing. So, the reason I tell you this experience is just one of the many experiences of gardening that you can have. As I'm sitting here, I'm looking at, just as then it caught my eye, there's a little hummingbird right there that's out here in the garden this morning, coming over to some of the flowers that my wife plants to bring in pollinators. But as I was saying that, I'm thinking about you. If you've never had a garden before, it's a great experience, and it doesn't have to be big. It can be in the small corner of your backyard. And it's amazing how much food you can get off a small space. And it doesn't take a lot of time to tend a no-till garden. You can weed a couple of times a week. You can hand water. And I've seen this, and it always blows me away. This small acre, we sell to our specific customers. We have a customer base. It also provides food for our family. And I'm telling you, in a small square footage area, you would be amazed at the number of hundreds of pounds of food that can come off a small area. And you can do the exact same thing by planting your favorite vegetables just in a small area. But anyway, with that being said, I always encourage for those of you who are thinking about garden, just go ahead and do it. There's not really a bad time to start. If you start now, you can start having things this fall. If you started early spring this year, of course, you're reaping the benefits of that now. This garden out here almost produces food. We're here in zone 8A in Central Texas. We almost produce food year round. And you could do the same depending on the area that you live at. A big portion of the year, you can have food right there in your backyard. So blessings over you, your family, your garden. We always appreciate when you find our channel, like, subscribe, certainly put your comments, how your garden's doing. How much rain do you get each year? And how do you go about watering your garden? Maybe use a drip system like us, soaker hoses, or hand water. So blessings. Hope everything goes well for you and your family, your garden. Talk to you soon from Whirlwind Family Farm.